What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Marriage Shop. It's Mike. This lovely lady is Wendy. And it's Monday. So, hey, we here. We back.
I don't know, barely. Hey, Ashley Key,
What's up?
DT Jack, Nicolette DeRamus,
Hey, y'all. What's going on? What's going on?
Roll Tide, and Danielle Burks. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for the message that you sent us. We did get it. But as I put on our post, we are coming in hot, fresh off the road from Asheville.
Yeah.
So we were ministering this weekend at a weekend to remember in Asheville, North Carolina.
Yes, we were. And I was going to say it was cold, but after coming back from that Oregon ordeal, I can't say it was cold. It was chilly. It was windy. But it was nice. We love the mountains. So it was good to be up there.
Yeah, the mountains are good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. Oh, good. So, yeah, I mean, and
So-
it seems like it's nice here. I mean, we've had some freeze warnings, but I don't know what the weather has been since we've been gone.
Me either. And I don't even care. So,
Yeah, it seems pretty nice in Evans today. Not as
Right.
much pollen as when we left.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it looks like most of the trees survived the freezes we've been having, but it's too soon to tell.
yeah, Wendy is particularly partial to Herb 3.0. 3.0 is Japanese maple. So in our house we lived at before this one, there was a Japanese maple Wendy like nursed to life, and that tree, if you drive by now, that tree is amazing, beautiful.
Beautiful,
But we had to
yeah.
leave it when we moved, so
Yeah.
she got another Herb. So we trying to get him going.
Trying to get it going. I mean, when they thrive, they are really pretty. But if something causes it to, I don't know if it's in so early or the not the right amount of sun. I don't know. But whatever it is, they struggle to get going. But once they get going, they're pretty.
So are you arborists? If you're out there, if you're a Japanese maple expert, holler at your boy. All right. So
Yes.
anyway, but Asheville, it is beautiful, and the event was good. It was a different feel for some reason, but it was just a lot of people. But it was good. It was just a lot of nice people. I tell you, y'all, we've been, I don't know, a bunch of places at this point, and every time we go to a different place, like my faith and confidence in people and their hearts is restored just a little bit, right?
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of nice
Say
people.
more.
A lot of nice people that we meet when we're out there in those streets.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you never know what you're gonna get. I mean, and I guess we're going with one mission in mind,
Yeah.
right? And so, well, several things, but one mission, and we just go wherever the Lord sends us,
Yeah.
and we pray about it, pray for the people that are attending, and some amazing things happen every single time.
Yeah, that's true. Danielle Burke. Danielle said she heard it was amazing.
Oh wow!
It was all right, Danielle. Don't believe everything you hear.
Well, Charlotte Honcharenko and her husband, and why can't I think of his name? But they have followed us at the Marriage Shop. We met them last year in Jacksonville, and they followed us on the Marriage Shop and drop in from time to time. And they were actually in Asheville this weekend
Yeah.
and came up. We had an opportunity to reconnect with them, and that's always kind of cool. I mean, we didn't expect that we would be kind of cycling back and running past some of the couples that we've seen in the past couple of years so soon.
Yeah.
But it's always really, really cool when we do.
Yeah, I guess we're about to be we're like almost old school in this, huh? Almost. Got a little
Yeah.
while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also saw from Williamsburg, Lyric and
Donovan.
Donovan. My bad, Donovan. Yeah.
Yes.
So, what?
What, were you going to say anything about them? So
No, they're from Williamsburg, and
Yeah,
so they're
yeah.
actually on the Williamsburg team, Lyric and Donovan, and they were there as well. So it was amazing to see them. I think we were in Williamsburg in November 2021.
Was it 2021?
Yep,
Oh, wow. Seemed like it was last year.
it was not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, it was good to see them. They lead the volunteer team there, and they are just an amazing couple. And one of the things that they said was that this time they were taking advantage to take some time for them.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a really important point because you may be a couple that is really busy at work. You might be really busy with ministry. You might be really busy with volunteering. There's so many things that kind of compete for our time that often we forget to prioritize our marriage and the time for us
Yeah.
while we're doing all that stuff.
That's true.
So they were there. Lots of people, quite a few pregnant women, and quite a few people who
Yeah.
just had babies.
That's true. I was like, oh wow, look, baby, you get a baby, you get a baby. Yeah, so that was cool. Daniel says she's praying we come into Oregon in the fall. I bet you Oregon in the fall is crazy beautiful.
It is.
Yeah, I bet it is.
I bet
So,
it is. I mean, Oregon in the winter was beautiful.
It was beautiful,
So
but I would be hoping in the fall it would be slightly less chilly.
yeah,
So-
I don't know. So we're not coming to Oregon in the fall.
At least not now. I mean, you never know what could happen, but it's not on the schedule.
Not fall 2023. In fact, in October of 2023, we're going to be in Little Rock.
Oh, great. I thought we were waiting to tell the. Okay, I guess we're not.
Because I said, hey.
There it is, Little Rock.
Nick Cannon was there.
Nick Cannon was where?
I don't know. Oregon?
I don't know. You're gonna have to say more, Daryl. You're gonna have to say more, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, so we're going to be in Little Rock, Arkansas in October. So if you Google Weekend to Remember, or you go to the Family Life page and you search Weekend to Remember, look at all of the weekends to remember that are coming up this fall. I think they just released that list, and we are blessed to be going to Little Rock, Arkansas in October. Oh, you said you get it.
I got it. I'm sorry, man. It's been a long weekend. I'm a little slow on the uptake.
That was good.
That's funny.
That's good. Hey, Jeff Hill.
Jeff,
It's been
what's
a
going on,
while.
bro?
Yeah. So glad you guys could drop in and find us here all
Yeah.
in one piece and not dragging in.
Yeah.
What? Oh. Donna Armour, so enjoyed you both at the marriage retreat in Asheville over the weekend. Such a blessing. Oh, Donna, I'm so glad you're joining us here.
Hey,
We're
welcome.
a little tired. Hopefully,
Welcome.
I'm
Dear.
glad you guys made it home safely. Yeah, we had a blast. We were just talking about that. We met some amazing couples and had a great time teaming up with Trent and Andrea Griffith
Yes.
in Asheville. They are awesome. They've been on the speaker team, or have been doing it with Family Life for more than 17 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So we
Very cool.
learned so much from them, and it was just a real blessing to be with them.
Yep. AJ and
Yes.
Pebbles are here, straight out of Jersey.
Oh yeah. Oh, are
Good job.
they? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
right there.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
It's just something about them. Remember when we saw them when we were like about to go outside in the snow?
I mean, it's AJ and Pebbles. I mean, how can you not? Come on, that's how
But their vibe is just so cool.
it is.
Just saying.
Yep.
Hey.
What's
So
up?
yeah, she said that's fine. I'll just keep talking to God to get y'all
Keep
here.
talking to God,
Hey.
So, and
we
you never
go
know
where
what.
the Lord says.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, there is power in the tongue.
Indeed.
So yeah. So what are we talking about tonight? Well,
Well-
I don't even know. Did we talk? Were we here last week?
You know what? Let's not.
We were here last week,
We were here last week.
and I said this could be like part one.
So you know what? You're doing it anyway. So about this week.
What did we talk about last week, y'all?
Anyway. So like I was saying about this week,
It was a good one.
it was a good one.
Yeah,
Okay,
because I was saying we could almost do a part two on this.
you probably said that,
Okay.
but I don't. Are we
I know.
gonna
So
wait?
I know we started with a question, and the question was because it's March Madness. That was our title, right?
Mm-hmm.
March Madness, and talking about two different people coming from two different places,
Yeah.
coming together in a marriage, and marriage works.
We got into all that. That conversation is kind of started here though, and it kind of went here, and then
it
it,
did.
and then so
But we started out
For
with
that
a question.
reason-
We started out with the question of would you rather get beat by one,
Yup.
or lose by one, or
Yeah.
get blown out?
I got some text messages this weekend too after a few of those March Madness games.
Yes.
Right, and people were like, "Oh man, I'd rather get blown out. I would rather." I need to have hope right up to the last minute, because to me, if I'm getting blown out in the last 2 minutes, why play these last 2 minutes so we can just continue to be humiliated? No, I need to be like right in it. And so, hey, listen, ball, you got the ball. It's all yours. Go win or lose it. Boom. That's it. I love that.
Yeah.
And if it rips your heart out, fine. Win next time.
Yeah,
So
I am so, I'm not loyal at all, especially during March Madness. I mean, I find myself, even if I have a team going in, I can't help but pull for the people that are down.
yes, that makes it more interesting, actually. So if you out there went betting for all the high seeds, stop it, or the low seeds, I guess, whatever. Just yeah, you got to March Madness. It's all about the underdog. That's what makes it interesting. That's why it's madness, because otherwise it would just be March regular.
Oh my
It just be
goodness.
blowout, 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 blowout. But that's not what happens. You
Yeah.
get somebody like what's their name? FDU?
Florida.
No, not Florida Atlantic.
Oh.
Y'all know FDU. Those cats beating
You
like a
said
number one seed
Fairy
can't
something?
Fairly Dickinson.
Fairly Dickinson. Okay.
Like beating a number one
Lisa.
seed. Come on, that's like historic. But the problem is them cats they probably got no sleep the next night. While they got handled by Florida Atlantic. Anyway, hey Lisa, what's up, sis?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but lots of games.
Mm-hmm.
It is exciting. I think it's exciting to watch, or even exciting to just hear, because I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't doing a whole lot of watching yesterday. I was exhausted.
You were, boy. When you went down, you went down hard.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
so
So that's what we
Tonight.
talked about last week. Oh, so I said the other day there's a question
uh-huh.
that we should ask tonight.
do you know what the second question is?
Nope. Do
Okay.
you remember?
I barely remember what day it is. So stop
It
it.
was something. I don't know if it was.
You gotta ask
Was it
somebody.
basketball related
Wendy.
or football related? I
Wendy.
don't remember.
We got to move on
I
now.
know. Okay. I'm just trying to think of a good question. So, okay, here's a good question to start with, because we were talking about retreats, and how we enjoy going on our retreats because they're usually at the beach. So, if you had to choose between a good place to retreat, how many of you would say you prefer the beach versus those that would prefer mountains? Those are your only two options, by the way. The beach or the mountains, and hiking and lakes and fishing and all that. Drop it in the comments. Beach or mountains? I'm curious to know.
Yeah, I really don't care, y'all. So
We do care. All right.
I know.
AJ says mountains all day.
All day mountains. Okay. Danielle says mountains for us.
Okay.
DT
Beach.
Jack. Beach.
Okay.
Jeff Beach. Uh oh.
Yeah.
It's even now.
It's
Now see
making
now y'all
that.
made it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Mountains in
no,
Hawaii.
That's very
Oh, quite
specific.
specific.
Mountains are edging out the beach right now. So now you made it interesting.
got 3 mountains,
It's like
2
March
beaches.
Madness. Mountains versus beach. Anyway, so okay. So are you gonna basically tell them whatever your thing is, do it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was just curious.
Oh, Ashley came
Hey,
back with the beach. Did you just put beach to even that out? Actually, I'm just wondering. Keep it interesting.
It's
curious.
neck and neck. We'll let y'all know who wins.
But we are beach
at the
people,
end.
Ashley. We are beach people. So,
Yeah,
all right.
like real beach.
What do you mean, like real beach?
Like the beaches that we went to in the Northeast, in the Atlantic Ocean, are not. I don't think there's like really.
First of all, whoa. I'm gonna stop you now before you offend somebody. Because
Lisa
Virginia
says beach,
Beach
too.
is real beach. Thank you, my sister. Like literally, my sister. Beach, right? If you're from Virginia Beach on the East Coast, I would suggest, and I ain't trying to hear any crap for any of y'all in Miami or Myrtle, any of that foolishness. Virginia Beach, by far the best beach and beach area on the East Coast. Period. Point blank, hands down. That is all. Now, when we start getting to Florida, that's a whole kind of different thing. But Miami Beach, the city is fine. The beach itself,
Yeah, I just prefer white sands and blue water. So there's beach, which
I understand.
in the Northeast coast and the Atlantic Ocean is brown, and the sand is like sand.
It's real sand, yeah, and it sticks with you for like months.
Forever. If you get that sand in your hair, hang it up.
Yeah, I mean, so we're not even we are separating out tropical beaches, right? Now, if
She
you're,
said we have a real beach, but I prefer tropical beach.
I mean, true. I'm talking East Coast, but otherwise, like the Emerald Coast and like all the Gulf Coast and all beautiful beaches down there, can't really compete. But as far as building infrastructure, resources, Virginia Beach is hard to beat, for real. Like anywhere in the country, Another story. Anyway, let's move on to the topic because
Yeah.
you got us all we a little
I
distracted.
mean, I was just curious.
We are a bit distracted right now, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what we're talking about.
Okay. What are we talking about?
Distraction.
What about distraction?
I don't remember.
Okay, so one of the things that we talk about when we, one of the things of the many things that we do share during the weekend to remember is we cover like common distractions. We actually send out a poll, ask everybody in attendance to kind of give us some feedback to see what the culture, the flavor, the general feel of that crowd is. And it starts with, kind of asking those questions. And so we'll ask you guys. We could start with a question just like that or something similar, right? So what would that question be?
Well, I'm distracted right now because Nicolette put the best motto in the game, as far as I'm concerned, the best state motto that there is, hands down.
All right. So
That's
now
all.
that you've gotten it
Virginia's
out.
for lovers.
Yes.
All right, I'm sorry. What was your question?
So what is the question? If we were polling them right now about distractions, what's the one question we want to ask to see?
I don't know. What tends to be the top distraction in your life? You, individually. What's the thing that distracts you most?
Yeah. Well, I think the question is in your marriage, but
Yeah, but I don't. This is the
Okay.
marriage shop. I don't know what their question is.
all right. So what tends to be the top distractions for you? Drop them in there. No, don't drop them in there.
No, that was like, like, yeah, what she said.
So, by the way, I think the beach won. I think it's 4 beaches to 3 mountains.
Okay.
Thank you for that. And if you just joined, we asked the question, when you go on vacation, or maybe not vacation, but what is your preference? The beach or the mountains? So you still have time to answer that question.
No, you don't. Actually, you're gonna have to move. You gotta come. You gotta get with us.
The next question is, what tends to be the biggest distraction for you? And so I see phone, and I see another phone in a picture. What's that picture?
That's
That's a phone?
I don't have my glasses on, so you're gonna have to tell me. It's red.
I think it's a phone.
Okay. If it's a phone, it's a flip.
Phones, email, work. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that you guys
Kids
are using emojis.
and work.
Yeah.
Kids. Oh, let me tell y'all about. Okay, no, I'm gonna get
No.
distracted.
Good
But
job,
I'll
good
say
job.
this. I'll say this about kids.
Nope. Let's wait. Keep them coming on in. We got
Okay.
phone, 3 phones, 1 email, 1 work, some kids, and work. 2 works. 2 works, some kids, 1 email.
You're like doing
3
a tally.
phones.
I don't know
am.
if we care to tally. Do we care to tally? we just give them a poll or
Work
something.
and the things I do to unwind after work. Phone, Netflix, Graham.
Oh, Netflix.
Oh yeah,
What?
that's a good one.
I don't. A friend of mine told me years ago, before Netflix, before Hulu, before all these things, he said, hey, like there's time coming when we're going to be able to basically on demand pick what we want to watch. And I'm like, how's that going to work?
Yeah, like music. Yep.
And now, not only do we pick what we want to watch, but we can watch the whole series.
In
Like
one
now?
night. Yeah.
That's evil, y'all.
It
That
is.
can't be good.
But look, it's Josh Acosta.
Josh Acosta.
Hey!
What's
We
up,
missed
Josh?
You.
Where
We
are
missed
you,
an
man?
Opportunity to connect with you. It's our bad. Our bad. We've been all over the place.
All over the place.
And we are so much older now than we were when you were here with us.
We're
Josh
like
was our
really old now.
first intern in our business. Just amazing young man. And we kind of walked through. Remember when he got engaged
Oh, yeah.
and then he got married
Yep.
and moved away and finished his PhD and all of that stuff
Yeah.
and had like postdoc work. Josh has been doing everything. Oh, they're in Greenville. We love Greenville.
Yeah, Greenville's awesome.
Oh.
We met a bunch of people from Greenville this
I
weekend,
know,
actually.
I know. We need to get to Greenville.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, when you're back in the area, give us at least 3 days notice.
Yeah, we should be able to
And
work with that.
we need to work that out. Hey, Michelle Moore Wilson.
Hey.
Oh, Lisa says it is evil. Binge
Okay.
watching is real. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so top distractors, they're for most people, they're gonna be things like the phones, devices, TV, things like that, right? And then of course work because work it's been a problem. It's been evolving over the years where work follows you home. Not even the work that you bring home, but the phone or the computer you bring home, where you're somebody from work gets to infiltrate
Yeah.
into your space and send you messages, and then some people feel the obligation to respond, or maybe you're the one sending the messages. Maybe you're the problem. But so all of a sudden you're sending these emails, and you know who you are. You're sending these emails at 11, 12 o'clock at night, right? And people are responding. What's wrong with us, man?
I mean, we don't want to miss out on something. And I think that society today has given us 24-hour access to everything and everyone. And so many people just capitalize on that, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to miss out on anything. They don't want to miss an opportunity to connect. They don't want to miss, like, when the thought hits your mind and you have to act on it right then. All kinds of things, I think, have kind of cultivated this culture of, if I have access to you, then I will access you at any time on any day, because I have a question or a need or something.
Well, listen, y'all know somebody needs to hear this. You probably need to hear it. And some people don't want to hear it. When they see, they're talking about distraction, they're probably going to be talking about social media and all that. Yeah, we are. And so they start running. No, grab them by the collar and drag them into the marriage shop. I have something I want to show the people.
Okay, you can. While you're doing that, I was going to read what Lisa said. Okay, so Lisa said, I'm careful not to bother my folks after hours because I hate when it's done to me. Yeah, that's good. And then Nicolette says, they can send, but if I don't respond, they eventually get the picture. Yeah, we like that.
Well, it's interesting. Hey, Lisa, you are a top-notch leader. We know this, right? And so, unfortunately, a lot of people don't follow your lead. Nicolette is doing she's doing what we call operant conditioning, right? She is helping people to understand, like, you send something to Nicolette, no response. Send it, no response. Maybe I don't send it, right? Or maybe when I send it, I don't expect anything. Yeah. But as soon as you respond, expectations, y'all. So check this, but y'all need to see this. We're going to put up this graphic. You should take a look at this. Right now, this is just one. There are several, different institutions or what have you that are doing research constantly on cell phones. This is like from 2022. Check this out. 74% of Americans feel uneasy leaving their phone at home. How many of you?
74%.
74%. How many of you have turned around? You running late? How many of you have turned around to go get that phone? 70% of Americans say they check their phones within the first 10 minutes of waking up. How many of y'all grab the phone first thing? 53% say they have never gone longer than 24 hours without their phone, like ever. 47% say they're addicted. 35% look at their phones while driving. I think that number is higher. 70% of Americans check their phones within 5 minutes of receiving a notification. 64% use their phone on the toilet.
That's definitely higher.
They're lowballing that number. That number is definitely higher.
Yeah.
61 have texted someone in the same room as them. That's low. 48% say they feel a sense of panic or anxiety when their cell phone battery goes below 20. How many of y'all running around crazy? Got to find a charging cord. Right? 45% say their phone is their most valuable possession. It's almost half of the people.
Yeah.
And 43% look at their phone while on date. That's probably a little low as well.
Yeah, that's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got some issues.
We do. But again, the phone has evolved. So Victoria Wilson, it's been a while. Thank you for dropping into the chat. She says, I use my phone way too much. I'm working on it. Ashley says, I stopped bringing my phone home. That's good when you can have a work phone and a home phone, or personal phone and a work phone. Nicolette says, I can't leave it. All these kids means I'm always on call. So important.
Yeah.
Ashley says, I would like to see these people stay polled. Yes. Oh my goodness. Victoria says, no, my phone stays dying, but it's because I use it too much. And
right.
Michelle Moore Wilson says, when I'm driving and I pick up my phones, I often ask myself, if it's that important, I can wait. Yeah.
I've done that. And you find yourself checking that phone in some crazy times. Like, I'm on a highway doing 80 in a construction zone doing S-turns. And the urge, I just want to, there's an urge. And I have to be like, okay, Mike, if this goes bad, will you look back and be able to live with yourself?
Yeah. I mean, that is true. And I think because it draws us in, right? And so I was saying that phones have evolved. So if it was just the phone, that's one thing, right? I missed a call. Somebody was trying to call me, or I was supposed to make a call, or I'm meeting somebody and I need to call them. If that's what the phone was all about, then that's different, right? Because I mean, there was a point in time when we didn't have cell phones, and you called before you left, and then you hoped that the other person, followed through. And when you got there, you found out if they did or not.
Yeah.
And then you could call them from where you were. But now there's a need to check before you leave, check while you're en route, and then check once you get there, and it's all tied to the phone.
Yeah.
So Danielle Burke says, we are trying to put ours down at 6 p.m.
That's cool.
Give kiddos 100% at night. I think that's really good. And then I have a follow-on comment to that. I'll get to that a little bit later. And then Lisa says, the phone has replaced so many things: alarm clock, laptop, camera, day planner, radio, GPS, video camera, books, etc.
Sex.
Exactly. And, Nicholas says, no admissions of guilt.
That's funny. Did you hear me?
Yeah. So say it again.
Sex. Okay. No.
Say what you're saying.
Well, I mean, we'll come to that in a little bit. But yeah, it's replaced a lot. And so, and Lisa, that was the whole intent. Make this thing as essential as possible. Put it all here so that we keep it in our hands. We pick it up for everything. And every time you pick it up, there's another opportunity to get your attention. And I was talking to the guys this weekend. It's like, all I want to do is check the weather. All I want to know is what the 10-day forecast is. Next thing you know, I'm looking at Mike Tyson knockouts. What? How did I get here?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson in the 90s, and they're still amazing, by the way. But why can I stop myself from looking at it's crazy.
Yeah. That's so funny. And Nicholas said, except for on Monday nights. And that's kind of cool.
Pull the phones out on Monday, y'all.
That you spend a little time with us on Mondays. Ashley says, even with all that, we are still in control of. Even with all that, we are still in control of what we spend our time doing.
Don't get ahead of me, Ashley. Okay? Don't get ahead of me.
That's good. Yeah.
We are in control.
Yes.
But we'll get to that too.
We'll get to that too.
All right, but what's the whole point of this? The point of this is that you only get to spend your minutes once. Each minute, you get to spend it one way. You get to choose how you spend it. And the phone is costing you intimacy in your marriage. Average, if you depending on what studies you look at, the average time that people spend on the phone day to day, 3 to 5 hours a day on the phone.
Yeah, that's about right.
3 to 5 hours a day. So I don't know what you were doing before, and I don't know if you're on the 3 or the 5, or maybe you're like 1, or maybe you're 10, right? That's an average. So I know some people are on the phone more, some are less. Bottom line is, and I always think about this, what is that device, whatever you're looking at, whatever you see, whatever you're reading and accessing, what value is it adding to your life and your relationship and relationships? Because, posting on social media is not necessarily maintaining relationships. Reading on social media is not necessarily maintaining relationships. Right? But as it pertains to your marriage, do y'all believe it's taking something away? Or is it adding something? And this is a tough question. So before you comment on this, I want you to really think about this. Because if it's taking something away, but you're still spending your time involved in it, what's that about? Why would you willfully take that time away?
Yeah,
right?
that's good. That's good. And I think it's a good reflection question. Michelle Moore Wilson says, I'm addicted to Sudoku and playing spades on my phone. And, I play games on my phone. I love to do crosswords and word searches and things, brain games that kind of keep my cognitive things in order. And I consider that, or at least I believe I'm doing it during my downtime, but I actually have time like at a certain point in the day where I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. And so some people play games. There are different reasons. We could justify all of the uses of the phone, but I think it's good that you have kind of reflecting on, if the amount of time that you're spending on your phone. And so I want, in defense,
of what? Of who?
Of everybody in terms of what we're doing on the phone. So again, if you were talking on the phone for 4 hours or 5 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
That would be one thing. Some people are working on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are playing games on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are simply on social media for that amount of time. So really, it's just a matter of really examining and being honest with yourself about how you're using your time and what you're actually doing. I think
Yeah.
when you actually have to account for the time, you pay more attention to it.
Yeah, and I think, and the thing is, with every device, you actually have the ability to track the time. A lot of people don't want to because the reality kind of stings a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
Right? Can
guess
sting.
what, folks? Your phone will do it for you.
That's what I'm saying.
So, especially if you have an iPhone, I think they do it on Androids too. You can just scroll to a widget that shows you how much time you've used your phone. Not only does it track it by the day, but it tracks it by weeks and shows you trends, those types of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Michelle Moore Wilson is addicted to Sudoku
Yeah, I said
and
that.
spades. And so
Yeah.
Sudoku is like, that's one of my joints, actually, but I just typically I only do it when I travel for some reason. It's like the
Yeah.
only time I'm inclined to do Sudoku. But when I'm in it, like, leave me alone. Just
Yeah.
trying to get this last 7 in here. But
Yeah.
and so it is. So whether you're working or whether you're playing games or whatever it is you're doing, what we got to ask ourselves is like, because some of us, like, there's an expected work time, for example, and so what happens is you may go to work 8 to 4, 9 to 6, whatever you do, right? But then you come home and the workday now is extended, more time, and it's like, well, does it have to be? Or whether you're playing that game, whatever you're doing. The whole point is, whatever you're doing with that time, you can't be focusing on your connection with your spouse necessarily. That's my argument.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I think it's the same as taking the TV out of the room, right? There are so many things that compete for our attention in a given day, right? So whether it's the phone or it's the TV or it's other work, other things that we're doing, there are lots of things, external things that are competing for our time and attention. And so I think that what it requires at this point, no matter how long you've been married or in your committed relationship, you have to be intentional about creating time and space for your relationship. So whereas before TV, lights, phones, radios, and all of those
Toilets
things,
and running water? Are we going to add?
I mean, I'm just saying there
Oh.
were a whole lot of babies being made.
Yeah.
I mean, historically, they spent time eating, talking, and sleeping and having sex. Lots of babies were being born, made, and being born during that time.
The good old days.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I mean, maybe it was the good old days, but there were fewer distractions, right? But I don't know that we had any more self-control then than we do now. I just think that there are more options now.
Yeah, no, I would suggest that we do not have more self-control. And I think a lot of us got to get caught up and we think of it in terms of self-control. But the devices themselves, the apps that you use, the programs you watch, everything is designed to capture and keep your attention.
Yep.
They are designed to capture and keep your attention. Think about how, if you think about a drug addict, because people talk about being addicted to phones and, it's and addicted to a lot of things. And so by the book, it's trouble. It's difficult sometimes to get there fully. However, there are some characteristics that mimic like dependence on a drug or alcohol or substance,
Sure.
right? And one of those things is to ignore the things that are healthy for the thing that gives you nothing, but somehow is cognitively gratifying, right? And so somehow all those videos that we scroll through, why can't we stop at the one? No, it's like, oh, here's another one. Here's another one. Oh, this is good and this is better.
Yeah.
Like we have AI now because there's enough information to begin to predict what it is you like. If you haven't watched The Social Dilemma, is it Netflix, Hulu? I forget
It was
which.
Netflix, I'm pretty sure.
Watch The Social Dilemma, like, because they kind of peel back the lid on some of that and give you a lot of truth as to what's happening. But the whole idea is to give you something that is stimulating to your brain. And if you get that, you will forego food, sometimes, you'll definitely forego relationships, sex, talking, some of these basics.
Taking a shower.
Maybe taking a shower. Hey,
I
whatever your
mean,
thing is.
some people, when they binge, like TV, for example, they don't move. They will not take it. They will ignore their personal needs, right? And so some people create a whole little, there's like a whole setup, like you're going into a cave. And so all of the food that you might need, the phone you might need, the chargers you might need, everything that you might potentially need,
Yeah.
a pillow and a blanket before you start your binge of
Yeah.
of a particular program.
So yeah, so from a and Michelle Moore Wilson, I'm not sure. I think everything seems good here on our end. So it might be your device, but
Yeah.
so I'm from a biblical perspective, we'll say like the phone appeals to what the Bible would call our flesh, to that desire to get more,
Sure.
right? And so that right there should kind of get our attention in terms of then how we manage it. Because if we just kind of follow it, it will often just kind of lead to nowhere. The things that distract us, right? They kind of lead to nowhere. So there's the scripture.
Okay.
Galatians 5:16 through 17 says, "But I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. For the desires of the flesh are against the Spirit, and the desires of the Spirit are against the flesh. For these are opposed to each other, to keep you from doing the things you want to do." So you may want to do something productive. You may want to do something that, where I'm going to connect with my spouse. I'm going to talk to you tonight. Let me try to get busy. We're going to get close. But hold on a second. Let me check this. And then boom, 30 minutes gone, hour gone. Just like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's also though, I can say that people use it as an escape, right? So there is that, right? Choosing one over the other, and then there is choosing an out, right? So somebody makes you mad, somebody comes home late, somebody is on their phone, and your reaction and your response to those things is to lose yourself in your phone, right? And so then it becomes this, we're both losing ourselves in our phones, and our connection is absolutely destroyed.
yeah. I mean, I think that happens.
Yeah.
But I think that it doesn't even require any kind of escape attempt necessarily. For example, if you walk into a restaurant and you see kind of scan a restaurant and look how many people on their phones. They were doing pregame video in the locker room before one of those, I forget which team it was, but they kind of went down one side of the locker room and up the other. And out of those, roughly 13 or so basketball players in there, I think about 11 were on the phone. And I'm like, man, what did we do before? Like, was there stretching? Was there meditating? Was there talking, inspiration? Was it just, silence, getting in that space? But so there's that. Relationally, like in that restaurant, when we used to maybe be talking, but now we're looking at the phone, right? And so, like, what are you losing? Oh, what is it that you're not getting in those moments? Right?
Yeah.
Because there's something, I mean, you got to kind of pick a lot of times, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a trade-off. So the challenge for you is to determine what is it that you're losing or missing out on, right? What is your phone to you? Is it an escape? Is it a crutch? Is it an addiction or obsession? Is it your lifeline? What is it for you? Those are just some examples, because while phones are not the only thing, I mean, we can put in there kids, phone, TV, laptops, pets, family members. There's a whole lot of distractions, but phones are a big one.
Yep. And so I'll go ahead with TVs and say, this is hard for me to tell you this, but you got to get that TV out your room.
We've told them that before.
You've told some people that before. Some people haven't heard that. Some of them heard it and they ignored us. You must get the TV out of your room.
Say more.
Well, a lot of people will sleep to TV. They say it kind of relaxes them, etc. Okay, that may be true for some people, but generally speaking, the TV is going to reduce the amount of sleep you have. If you keep it on, it'll likely reduce the quality of sleep that you get, right? And so Yeah, and yeah, Lisa, Lisa said
Hey, stay
she
focused.
tried. I'm focused. She tried, and he wasn't going for it. If one of you decides, hey, that we're going to try this, the likelihood is that you're going to get pushback. Question becomes, let's think about what is that pushback all about. Bringing a TV into your space is pretty much the equivalent of bringing the world into your space, just like this is, frankly. And so, I would say experiment with it. If you think the TV improves your sleep, go ahead and like agree on a time, a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Generally, make it 2 because that first week you're gonna be like
If TV
withdrawn.
is your thing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard.
But
There's so many
what-
things that we get from TV.
I understand, but
Yeah.
if TV is your thing, if TV is
Yeah.
not your thing, then it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is, if you remove TV from your room, 2 things will happen: your sleep will improve, and your intimate life will improve. If you don't replace the TV with your laptop, with your tablet, with your phone, with your crossword puzzle, your whatever it is, right? But think about, we're always like constantly seeking the next thing, distract. I want to be entertained. I want to be, you know what I mean? So, but you have to give if we're talking like in addiction terms, you have to give yourself a little bit of time. If you try this, don't be like, oh man, I can't take it one night and we're done, right? So what does Lisa say? She said, start moving the TV, but he wasn't going for it. We just agreed to turn it off when we're ready to go to sleep. And that's fine. That's a compromise, but understand what the TV does. In fact, understand what a TV is. Think about the image on your television set now versus 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Like, and some of y'all have your HD and your whatever QED and the TV is so vivid. It's hard to tell like what's fake and what's real. It's like crazy. That is like a smorgasbord for your brain. And so think about going to bed. Would you get up, go run 10 100-yard wind sprints, and then come down and just lay down and go to sleep? You probably wouldn't. You'd need some time to kind of de-escalate. And for a lot of people, cognitively, that's kind of what you need. So going straight from television, bright light, stimulating image, to turn it off, now let's go to sleep, it disrupts your ability to kind of glide into the sleep that you really want. So that's the thing. So Wendy's like, yeah, whatever. It took me how long?
I'm not like,
it took
yeah,
me
whatever.
How
I
long?
mean,
how long
it's
to?
clear where you stand on whether that you should have a TV in your bedroom.
Oh yeah, I mean, There's no. I'm just saying, like, how long did it take before we came to agreement on that one?
It took, I mean, probably about 6 to 8 months. We were about 7 years into marriage.
Why did
But
you say yes? I don't even remember why you agreed to that.
I think you were just wearing me out. I mean, you just,
So-
I mean, it was, it was just continuous. And, I mean, you weren't wrong. It's just that I had always had a TV in my room. And so we develop habits from a very early age. If you grew up watching TV, then there is some comfort with TV, right? But the truth is, if you need sound to fall asleep, then you should try soothing sounds like heartbeats or ocean sounds or wind noise or rain. Whatever you find soothing to you would probably be more effective than having just noise or white noise, radio or TV. Everything is designed to be transmitted at a frequency that is quite stimulating to all of your senses. And so that's why sometimes, even when you're asleep, subconsciously, you're still taking in information. And so there's something that might happen, a sound, a familiar sound, a song, something that can immediately pull you out of your sleep. And the whole idea is, at the end of the day, your brain requires some downtime. It just does. We were designed that way. And so even if you say, I get about 6 or 8 hours of sleep at night, but I fall asleep with the TV on, and or I wake up with the TV on, or I'm constantly checking my phone, or I don't turn off notifications when I go to sleep. All of those things are kind of activating you. So it is actually interrupted sleep, and that could explain why you may wake up feeling tired.
Yeah.
Just one of those things that could explain it.
Yeah, which is a whole other thing. So, but I think the bottom line here is what Ashley alluded to.
Okay, yes, we'll talk about that too.
Y'all, wow. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, now if you need like what we call cover and concealment, to obscure sounds, that's a whole nother thing. But I think that we, as Ashley alluded to, we have to choose, because if we kind of act kind of passively, just kind of living, then that's why we can't stop scrolling, right?
Yeah.
And so we have to kind of choose. You mentioned it earlier, like in terms of when you're going to be doing one thing versus another, versus just kind of allowing it to, right? And
Yeah.
so that's why, even for me, taking the television out of the bedroom puts you in a position where you get to choose. Okay, we're going to watch TV. Now it's off. Now we're going to go to bed, right? People who are experts in the sleep game say your bedroom should be used for two purposes only: sleep and sex.
Yeah. They're not wrong.
So
I mean,
I'm just saying.
but it takes time to change a habit, and habitually, for whatever reason, whether it is to drown out sounds or as a distraction or whatever reason there is, then we just kind of we integrate that into our lives. This is why we do it. We rationalize it and all of those things. And so what it requires is that maybe you get a little creative in other ways, right? And so I know that our kids are probably like, why are ocean sounds blasting? Why does it sound like we are at the beach right now? Why is it so loud? And one thing they won't ever question is if you're playing gospel music really loud.
That's true. And you can legitimately do that. It's cool. It's legal.
Christian music, I'm just saying. I mean, your kids might be different, but I know our kids are probably like, oh, and they will put headphones on or go somewhere else. It's just not their preference. Do the things that are kid deterrents. That maybe are not the TV, because hearing the TV might make them knock on the door to say, "What you watching?"
Yeah, there's a lot of alternatives to TV, but I want y'all to think about, because we tend to kind of cling to our thing and defend it, and I want this, it's my phone. I want to look at my phone. I want to do my. All I want to ask you is, what is it costing you in terms of time?
Yeah.
Like, how many hours when you look at that? I would encourage you to start tracking it, because how many hours you've been on the screen, you can probably surmise that those are hours that you have not been attentive to your spouse.
Yeah. And here's the thing: your spouse is not artificial intelligence. I know. They're not. They're not artificial intelligence. They are not reading your mind, and so they're not teeing up everything that is pleasurable to you. Yeah. And that's exactly what your phone or your tablet or your laptop does. They totally front load all of the things you've already shown interest in. That's why all your ads are things that you're interested in or shopped for. And it brings up all of that. So that then reinforces your feedback loop, and it is stimulating. And so it's like, this is what I like. This is what I love. This makes me feel good. This makes me smile. This makes me happy. I need to see more cats doing crazy things in crazy clothes. I love this. This gives me some kind of, it evokes a feeling, and that person just doesn't do that, right?
Well, they could.
Not in the same way.
You
have the responsibility to communicate how he or she can capture your interest more than the phone or the TV or the tablet or work, right? And so there's certainly some things that, we're not saying ignore deadlines or suspenses or things that have to get done. Take care of those things. But day to day, as you examine how you're spending your time, where you're spending your attention, really take a close look at that, because I think it may reveal some things to you. So, Carrie Muse, thank you for joining us.
Hey,
we're
Carrie.
so glad that you're here. And then Allison Belt Whitley, we're so glad we got to meet you too. And thank you for that amazing note that you gave us. That really made our
really
day.
cool.
Yeah, it was really, really sweet from you guys. Nicolette, girl. Right? Not the 90s R&B playlist again. You've been in our room.
We are not unique. Yes. We are not unique. My
like,
goodness.
Alexa, play 90s R&B.
Oh no, that's so funny.
I know. So Carrie says, I joined randomly from Nicolette DeRamus's phone. Well, we're glad you're here, Carrie. Danita Harris Smith, I purchased your book this weekend in
Oh, wow.
Asheville. I really enjoyed it. Wow.
you.
Thank you for that. We were so blessed by the couples in Asheville.
Yes.
It was a good time. It was a
Yep.
really good time.
And matter of fact, if y'all can do us a favor,
Mm-hmm.
it just dawned on me. If you picked up the book, you can go to Amazon and leave a review on that. We would love to see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're in the marriage shop. Send us a quick DM. Let us know what you thought about it. We are in the process of the creative process for the next book, so it's always helpful to hear about the first one.
The creative process.
Kim Harris says it was a great weekend. You definitely blessed my husband and I.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. God is so good.
Yeah.
So, if you're just joining us, we're in the midst of a conversation about distractions, and we talked about that this past weekend, which made us want to continue talking about it. Often, when we come back after a weekend to remember, we address some questions that may not have gotten answered, or
Yeah.
some topics that seem to be something that was really relevant that
Yeah.
weekend. And distraction seems to be one that nobody has really managed to truly crack the code on, because we are two different people. We have two different preferences, and sometimes our way to appeal to our own interests, our own time, we create our own space by escaping to the TV or the phone or the laptop or the tablet, or spending time with kids, or volunteering, or ministry. We escape to those things because those are things that fill us up. And the idea would be to improve the communication between the two of you, so that then you're able to find ways to spend time to reconnect or connect, and to fill each other up in a positive way.
Yeah, because you said they fill us up, and I was like, yeah, they fill us up in the way that I don't know, lettuce might fill you up, or like a lot of water might fill. So it's filling, but there's not a whole lot there, right? As it goes through you.
Okay.
Does that?
Yeah,
does that
not a lot of substance.
not a substance? That's what I was thinking. Goes through. You know what?
Yes.
I'll stop there. I'll
Yeah.
stop there. So yeah.
Yeah. But we do that. We build affinities for things, right? I love to be around my dog and have my dog close and kiss my dog and hug my dog and curl up or whatever. And then this, like, your husband or your wife comes around and the dog is like growling at them, like, you messing with our time.
Oh yeah, we ain't even having that over here. Your dog want to live, the dog shall be silent. Not playing.
Or equally want to be with both of us, right? I mean, it makes me happy when the dogs choose Mike. Choose to be in his space.
The dog takes advantage of me when I'm sleeping. Like, be like coming all up in space and crawling up under my arm and
Yeah, but
under my leg
they
and all
want to
that
be
foolishness.
close to us when we're close. And it always cracks me up. So the closer we are, the closer they want to be. It's like our own little pack. It's true.
yes, it is true.
It is true.
It is true. So
Yeah.
So you mentioned the habits can be kind of hard to break, and I just want to
Yeah.
offer this one. There were several we pulled, but I just offer this scripture right here, Romans 12:2. A lot of people will be familiar with this.
Yeah.
Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect.
Yeah, that's good.
I like the scripture because this is a biblical reference to something that actually happens physically when we try to change our habits, when we try to introduce new behavior
Yeah.
or try to reinforce new behavior. Like our brain is actually renewing. It's creating new neurons, new cells, new pathways for either new behavior or to reinforce existing behavior.
Yeah.
So what you practice, you can strengthen. And what you don't practice, you can actually begin to weaken the connection. So if the habit is, I gotta watch this show, I gotta watch TV, I have to have TV on now, I gotta have my phone on now, I gotta do X, Y, and Z now.
Yeah.
If you begin to practice something different, like, hey, maybe at this point, maybe we talk. At this point, maybe we pray. At this point, maybe we do, maybe we go to sleep. As you begin to do that, those pathways will be strengthened in your brain physically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Your mind will be renewed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
practice,
And I
y'all.
mean, I think, and that's true for anything. So when we
Yeah.
talk about changing a behavior, I like to always kind of approach it as exchanging a behavior, right? So there's something that I'm doing, but I want to start doing something else. Like, for example, weight loss or working out or any of those things that you have to kind of go through and experience some pain and discomfort before you actually get to experience the positive results of the change.
Yeah, yeah.
And
true.
so it is difficult when you're getting negative feedback or pain or whatever. If it's not working for you initially, it's easy to just be like, yeah, this ain't working.
Yeah.
Let me go back to what I know, because we're human, and it's very easy to regress and go back to what is known, what is comfortable, and to just kind of stay the course.
Yeah.
We just want to encourage you to try something different, right? Try it together, right? So have that initial conversation. Hey, if we're going to try to become more connected and more intimate between us, what are some things that we need, that we identify together as distractions? What are things that are detracting from our ability to be able to connect?
Yeah.
Right? What is claiming too much of our time and attention and our focus outside of the two of us that we can remove? Children cannot be permanently removed, but they can be temporarily
I thought you could do that.
detained in a good way. Meaning, it's okay to lock the door as long as you make sure that the kids are safe, they're cared for, they're being monitored or whatever else. It is certainly okay. Perhaps you locked the door, you had a bad experience, a kid got hurt. Guess what? Everybody learned in that situation. And so the next time, there may be some other things that need to be put in place before you lock the door. But don't let that push you into this place of, now that you have children, that now the children become part of the whole unit all the time.
Yeah.
Kids were not meant to become between you and your spouse. They were not meant to sleep between the two of you or sleep with the two of you. They were not meant to for you to stop everything that you're doing to focus on them. And they were not meant for you to give your true, pure, undivided attention for every minute that they're in your lives.
That's right. They got to be able to kind of become the people they're going to be, right?
Yes.
So Carrie said we put barricades in because the kids know how to unlock the door. Listen, I was gonna say y'all need to do something. Stack up, push the dresser in front of the door. If they break through the barricade, Carrie, it's got to be some consequences and some repercussions.
Oh my goodness. Or, some real talk. Just be sitting there looking at them when they come in. Like, yes, how can we help you? Duct tape them to a chair with some YouTube gamer. Oh my goodness. We do not endorse or
As effective as that might be, Nicolette. Daryl,
says, wait till tomorrow
you know what?
morning.
You're taking me out of context, Daryl. You're taking me out of
That is
context.
so funny. Lisa says our
Next.
kids grew up knowing not to open the door without knocking.
End
End up in counseling. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? I mean, those things will happen. It could be that you get caught.
There are some things once seen, they cannot
It's
be
an
unseen.
opportunity for a conversation.
I used to be all hardcore, like, yeah, I don't care, whatever. But man, that the door jiggles, it's just like, bloop, jump, covers, take cover. So
You remember that time?
we're not talking about it. Anyway, we're not talking.
So we can talk about that another time. Maybe you and your spouse or long-term committed partner should have some time to just reflect and reminisce on the times that you almost got caught.
That's funny.
Or the times that
So-
you have gotten caught.
so we distracting.
It's always funny to talk about it after the
That's
fact.
funny. Yeah,
Not funny when it happens,
It is.
but
It's pretty comical.
funny after the fact. So Carrie says with the 6 and 3-year-old, oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good
Trying
time.
to put the 6-year-old to
They're
work.
figuring it out.
Somebody gotta do some
yes,
babysitting.
Ashley
So-
says, in my experience, you only have to hurt your kids' feelings one time before they get it. It teaches them character.
agreed.
Agreed.
So, so I encourage you. You don't have to try to change the world. all at the same time.
No.
But do something like, today, I think we left yesterday, we just decided, you know what, we leave the phones in here when we go to eat.
Yeah.
We've experimented with, hey, we're going to put the phones out on the, in the kitchen and charge them up there and go to the bedroom.
We've tried it.
We tried it a couple of times, moderate success there.
Yeah.
Maybe you just power it down, put it on do not disturb mode. If you're my dad, it's going to go there automatically, apparently.
That's funny.
But try something together and see how it goes. But I think when she mentioned something really important. It's about replacing a habit with another habit, right? It's not turn the phones off and now let's just lay here, turn TV off. Let's just sit here for an hour.
Yeah.
And in silence. No, like.
Right, because your brain will be distracted. Even if you're physically present, you may not be completely present.
Your body's here with me.
Your mind is on March Madness. Your mind is on the game. It's on work. It's on the kids.
Yeah. So
Time to go.
We gotta go. All right. So listen, y'all. So the bottom line is, don't allow this or that television or that whatever your thing is to dominate your life, and doing so distract you from creating the relationship that you were meant to have, the marriage that you were meant to have. And that may be seem like it's overstating, but that is like happening actively every single day, right? And so if we're willing to be honest about it, maybe we can do something to intentionally change it and go in another direction. It's all about choices, y'all.
Yeah, and priorities, right? And so reordering your priorities, even spending more time in the Word, again, your phone tracks everything. If you have a number of apps, do you have a Bible app? How many Bible apps do you have? Of the game apps that you have, do you have any Bible game apps? Just saying, is there a devotional on there? All those little things that kind of help you. If you're going to be on it anyway, do something that's going to feed you, right? And so in terms of priorities, seek God first, right? The kingdom of God. And then this relationship is the most important relationship that you have. So how does your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your day reflect that you're spending time on the things that are most important to you?
Yep. So I'm going to drop one more verse in here. Y'all can grab these from the chat and just talk about what it means, if it means anything to you. This is a proverb, Proverb 4:25-27, which says, "Let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight before you. Ponder the path of your feet. Then all your ways will be sure. Do not swerve to the left or to the right or to the left. Turn your foot away from evil." I don't know. That just speaks to me. That says, don't get distracted. So we're going to pray for y'all because we got to go. All right. But Heavenly Father, we just come tonight just thanking you for being God. Thanking you for blessing us, for safe travel, for an amazing weekend in Asheville, and just for everyone who's here tonight. We ask that you bless them, bless their homes, bless their marriages. God, help us not to get distracted, but help us first to focus on you, so that you can help us to be better for each other. So we thank you tonight, God. We love you. We pray these and all blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. So we will see you. We're planning to see you next Monday at 7. So until next week, have a blessed week, and we'll see you then. Thanks for coming in the Marriage Shop. And if you think somebody else could benefit from this, grab them and tag them. We're on Facebook and YouTube Mondays at 7.
Curtis Edmonds. That's my 757 Portsmouth in the house. Anyway, hey, listen. Hey, appreciate y'all. And we're gonna close it out as we always do.
Yep.
With my man JC out of Atlanta.
With that Lifetime.
Lifetime by Mike and Wendy. Check it out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's your boy JC. I'm in the mood, love. Lately I've been constantly thinking about you, babe. You drive me crazy, yeah. And girl, I want this, got me all up in my feelings. Oh, what a feeling, yeah. I knew the first time I laid eyes on you, finest. So glad you're mine, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't wanna be with nobody else. Give me your love, that's all the wealth I need. Baby, you're priceless to me, yeah. To love you for a lifetime, I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime, yeah. Whoa. Promise I'ma be around, I'ma always hold you down. Won't you come and hold me now? Won't you come and hold me now? I just got a new coupe, yeah, I know I got a whip, but I always keep it down with you, yeah. And I know they see, girl, you're my queen. Beauty speaks for itself loud and clear, yeah. So throw it in the air. It's the sweetest sound to follow my ear. And I want the world to know I'll love you forever. And that's a long time, babe. But I got time for you, baby. I'm in the mood. Time for a lifetime. I'm in the mood to love you, yeah. For a lifetime, baby. Ooh, yeah. For a lifetime, oh, for a lifetime.